Live in this piece. After saw my daughter, I feel good now. I don't know why. But I'm on my mind. Anyway, greetings, everybody. This is Sister Dr. Mira along with Sister Angel. And guess what, y'all? I sure didn't put a title up there for the movie that we're about to review. But I think the name of the what is it? 21 Bridges.
Yeah.
For that movie. And
That,
man, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
no, that was a thank you, sister, for sending me that movie. I enjoyed it. My husband watched it with me. It was really good. And, shout out to, Chadwick Boseman. We just, he gone to glory this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a blessing to catch a movie that I have not seen. And it was nice to be, just to, support his movie. And also to see, man, that he was an amazing actor. I'm surprised he didn't have even more movies than that.
Yeah, he's an excellent actor, and also he was doing all these movies while he had cancer. And
Wow.
no way he had cancer. And that's why he was getting a lot of some of the actors complained that he was getting special treatment, but then they felt stupid. They had egg on their dang on faces after they found out that hey, this man been sick the whole time. What y'all talking
I
about?
know. Can you believe that, sis? Wow, that just hurts,
Yeah,
to see this man.
he was, and that he cared about his family. He wanted to take care of his family, and he had great worker ethic. So let's give some credit where credit is due in this piece.
Amen. Amen. That guy was amazing.
And
Keep him.
I say to him as well, and all the ancestors who have transcended this year and in the past,
Amen. Ashe is right.
all the centuries ago. So,
Amen.
but I've already admired him because he's a great actor. He did an excellent deal with James playing depicting James Brown. I mean, he did a great deal with depicting Jackie Robinson. You know what I mean? I mean, he made me want to watch the movie because I really was like, man, that's how we heard about in Black History class with Jackie Robinson. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna see another film. Oh my God, do we have to talk about Jackie Robinson again?
Hey, shout out to Positive Side of Dark, my handsome, beautiful brother.
Hey,
Man, that brother always be supporting his sisters. That's what I'm talking about. He is the real deal. He always pop in. Even if I'm talking about something he don't jive with, he'll just come in and say, I see you, sisters. I see you. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
that's beautiful. But
Man,
yeah,
man.
I
Let me send some kisses to my brother.
brother, don't be offended, but I got my PJs on. I'm not coming on camera. I
He's
got
what's
my
up.
head wrap on my head, and I'm not coming on camera. I refuse to. But yeah, so he did a lot of great movies, even the Black Panther role. I mean, I believed in Wakanda. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah.
great.
Hey, Positive Side of Dark. Did you see that movie, 21 Bridges? If you have not seen that movie, that is a good movie. That will keep you busy the whole time. I mean, you won't feel, you know, it,
Bored. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. It
Yeah,
will
bored
not keep you
and it
bored.
didn't drag too long because some movies might be I the fact that they drag so long, you're like, eh.
Exactly, exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, the point is he's an excellent actor. I was definitely intrigued by his energy, his work ethnic is phenomenal. Okay. His work ethic, oh my God. I was just really proud to see someone to work that hard and to really take that energy and put all of his energy into his acting and trying his best to make sure that his family is well provided for. Okay. So let me just say that. So Sister Angel, I know that you always do the intro to what the movie is about. Please by all means, bless us with your energy on that.
All right. Well, 21 Bridges arrives at a moment in American culture when public confidence in law enforcement has been hammered by fatal cases of police brutality. But even so, screenwriters Adam Mavis and Matthew Michael Carahan have gone too far. They seem to imagine Bozeman's character, Detective Andre Davis, as the tough guy hero of a modern day Don Siegel movie, a kind of East Coast Dirty Harry where there's no such thing as excessive force among the New York Police Department. Piers of Davis is known as the kind of cops who kills cop killers, fast on the draw, and equally quick to pull the trigger. 7 times he has shot suspects in the field, so often that Eternal Affairs has opened an investigation into his behavior. Now, statistics like those might give the public pause, but such a record makes Davis just the guy Captain McKenna wants to clean up the mess. So,
Mhm.
this guy that plays Davis, the main character, right? Our
Mhm.
brother, that is
The
amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chadwick Boseman, he's a quick trigger shooter. So, as you go into the movie and you find out all the stuff's going on, he's looking for someone to clean this mess up. So they're kind of tripping, like, why would they choose this guy? You know what I'm saying? He's trigger happy. He's already being investigated. But, basically, 21 Bridges is no ordinary manhunt. The movie does something strange from the outset. It shows the drug heist that started everything from the perps perspective. And even though one of the criminals is clearly out of his mind, let's talk about the movie a little bit. But just to let you guys know, it's all about the police department. They're bringing down one of these big time dealers, and they choose a guy who's already being investigated as a police officer for shooting people, shoot first, questions later. And in the beginning of this movie, we see that David Davis, who plays Chadwick, when he was young, remember his father was a police officer.
Right, exactly. So he definitely kind of had a grudge with the judge. You know what I mean, so to speak. I'm
Right.
acting like I'm Tupac. Tupac's like, I got a grudge with the judge, but police. But anyway, yeah. So he definitely had an issue with criminals, possible cop shooters, and things like that. So he definitely was one of those ones that the police pretty much loved because of the fact that he would shoot first and ask questions last, and so that was pretty much his MO. But we could talk about this on a spiritual astrometrical level, that if you think about it, it was kind of like his karma to go through this experience, so to speak. His, when I say karma, I mean lesson, right?
Right.
To go through this and to realize how everything is not black and white. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So
right. And, yeah, yeah. So when you see the movie, you're checking out this young boy, being at his father's funeral at such a young age. He did not have his father, but he knew his father was a good guy. He was serve and protect the family, also the community. So he went ahead and decided to become a police officer as well. But he carried, like my sister's saying here, he carried some things with him from his, you know, earlier experiences of, what he dealt with his father being killed. And in the movie, um, wow, that was a trip. Man, when they went into that, kind of business was that I think it was a restaurant. Wasn't it like a restaurant they went into? And they had all that Coke. Oh my God, just stacks and stacks of Coke. And they were thinking like, would why would they have small guys? Because they hired these guys, right, to go in to do a job, but the job was just too big for these guys. It was a setup, right? When they went into this place, there was like 300 bags of cocaine, powder cocaine. That how can these guys even take that coke out of there? But one of the guys were greedy, and he was like, "Yeah, let's get it." So he's trying to get it, get it, get it. And right? Wasn't that a lot of coke in that place?
oh, wait a minute. You can't just do that, man. You say he tried to do what?
he tried to pack up all that dope. Remember when he went to
No, no, that ain't what you said at first. What you say? He was trying to do what?
what I said?
Kitty, kitty.
Oh, get it. Yeah. He was trying to get all that stuff.
You're right.
I was like, man, and I should have known right there. This is kind of weird. Why would they have these two guys go in on such a heavy duty? You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. And then here they are trying to get the cocaine, and all of a sudden, I can't remember who shot first. Did somebody come in and shoot?
So they was basically what happened was they had started coming in and shooting. Okay. And so then oh boy kind of had to respond back to pull them off of him because it was like a whole bunch of them. It was a whole bunch of police officers that showed up out
Right,
of nowhere.
right,
And it was just those two. So they had to kind of, create some diversion, so to speak.
right. And man, and then when and when the guy came in, and what was a trip? And you know what was a trip of the movie is
Mhm.
when every time he turned around, police officers were shooting people that the detective said, "Do not shoot, don't shoot. We're trying to get some information."
Of course.
Right? And this is when you knew, wait a minute, something's going on here. They're not trying to, you know what
Some not right in little Chinatown, I'm telling
I'm saying? Yeah.
you.
So in this movie, Davis, who is the good cop, he's going in there not knowing that the people that he's working with are all in on this crime. They're
Correct.
the guilty ones. So they used him as a pawn to go in there because they figured he'd probably shoot the people that had the information that would
Mm-hmm.
right that would tell on them. So I mean, the movie was amazing. I liked the movie. I mean, you were not bored the whole time. Things were moving quickly. Suspense. It was kind of sad because he had an amazing partner. Detective. I mean, police officer, the female. I forgot her name.
Was working with was definitely, I mean, she was somewhat on point, and the mere fact she's like, "Are you gonna have my back? I just want to know the stories that they say about you, are they true? And are you gonna have my back?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have your back as long as we're partners, as long as we're here." So he was kind of connecting with her. Then the fact that she had a child and everything, and then she was having some issues with her daycare, babysitter or what have you. So he was really trying to connect with her in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the energy I picked up. Now, did that was a display? You know what I mean? Did was that necessarily written in? But the point is, I'm just saying he empathized with her, because he knew she had a child and his father, he was his father's child, and his father obviously was a cop. So he tried to empathize with her and definitely wanted her to go home to her daughter. You know what I mean? He definitely wanted that. He wanted her to not be murdered or killed,
Right.
because he really took pride in her going home, that way.
Exactly. And it was sad because in the movie, they're trying to find these guys that have the information, and also the what else were they looking for, that disc, and also the money, some of the stuff
But
that
because see, once they broke into where the guy cleaned the money, he cleaned the money plus he would take the money and put the money into different accounts on credit cards and things like that. And he also had
yeah, he had that disc, remember, with all
the
the
disc,
police
all the police
officers.
officers' information and
Yeah.
everything, the time they're gonna pick up everybody that's involved in it. And then he also was good at clearing people's giving people different identities. You know what I mean? So he also did that as well.
Right. And on this disc, it had every police officer number who was getting the money.
Yep.
And as the movie went on, and as Davis is starting to say, man, something's going on here. Every time I get close to catching somebody, they kill him. Like, I mean, there was one time he's jumping on the BART train, and he's saying, he's telling his partner, no, he didn't even know the partner was on the BART train, but
Right.
he's chasing one of the criminals, and he was just about to get him, and he catches the guy, and he's trying to get the information, And he looked up and he said, he told everybody before he went on that scene, do not shoot. I want him alive. Don't touch nobody. Let
Right.
me get some questions in. So right when the kid was getting ready to shoot the Davis talked him down and said, wait a minute, I can help you. I just have questions. Let me know. I know what's going on here, because they started realizing what was going on. And when Davis had the man put the gun down, he was just about to get the information, and here come his partner and shoots him. And he was like, why would you do that? And he kind of looked at her. At that time, he didn't know his partner was in on it, but he just couldn't understand, why would you shoot a man when he had the gun down? He put the gun down. You could see him through the glass of the bar, of the train. And that kind of stuck in his mind. And then I kind of stuck in the viewer's mind, like, well, why would she do that? And then I'm thinking, And then later on, when when he sees the disc of all the police officers and he sees his partner's number, and he's like, oh my God, she's a part of this.
And then
And
how he got even more proof is when he asked to use her phone because he said that his phone was dead and he needed to call into somewhere. And he used a phone. He looked through her phone contacts. And he was like, "Man, this is some crap." And then
right,
because they didn't possibly see a telephone number in, that he made a call, they he wound up showing at the detectives at the chief's house, with a gun, and he sat there waiting for him to come in. And and of course they already knew he was on the phone with one of his officers, and he gave him a code where, like, hey, somebody's here, I got company. And so they
right,
already kind of felt like, okay, he's gonna try to show out. He's basically letting them know, like, look, you need to turn yourself in. Why did you do it? And yada yada yada. And so they all these police officers showed up, and he just got to gun them down. He was gunning them down. And
right,
so Award, the older gentleman, which was the cop, the head cop, basically was like, hey, we need money. This is not just about, the criminals. They bad anyway. What difference does it make? And we had to get our cut. And, it's best that you just walk away from this. But he was going to kill him anyway. Let's just be honest. Even if he say, okay, cool, I respect that, but he was planning on killing him anyway. You can tell the intentions behind it.
oh yeah,
Trying to lower his defenses because he's like, no, 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 we get ready to get him, which is why all of them showed up. And then once old girl came in, she was just like basically looking all, scattered brain, looking like she was on dope or something, looking crazy. And so he wound up having to turn her in. He wound up shooting the old man. Then he wound up shooting all the rest of the cops. And then, of course, by then, she was basically looking at him like, hey, I guess I'll turn myself in. He put the handcuffs on her, walked her tail right outside. But the police officers pretty much already knew what was kind of going down because he did get a hold to someone apparently and let them know, hey, we need to arrest them. And he had his little badge, let them know, hey, you got to arrest this chick. Let's do it. Movie over with. What you think about it?
right, right. But it was sad because then he realized the reason why. Hey, how you doing? Hashtag comments. Good to see you. And we know a lot of people get busy at this time of the day. This is the time of the day that Dr. Amir chooses to do the movie reviews. And we thank you guys for watching this back. I notice when I come on and come back to listen back about the review, I see a lot of people come back and watch it after we review it. So that's really cool.
We can
Thank you so much.
always do it earlier or later. It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty, I can be pretty open on Wednesdays. Um, you just let me know if you want to change the time or if y'all think we should do it earlier or later. Just let us know and we can see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm pretty Wednesdays is pretty good. I have a class at 10 to 11, and then what else do I got? Yeah, and then so after 11 o'clock, we could do it anytime after that. If you want to do it earlier or later, it's up to you guys. I think 2 o'clock's a good time, but it just depends.
I'm pretty open. Let's just see. Let's just test the waters. We'll see if y'all also are looking at this video, even if y'all looking at the afterplay of the replay of the video. If y'all have another time frame to suggest, by all means, make a. We certainly will make an exception. We did have a person last time to make a suggestion for another movie, but we could not recall what that movie was. So if you could possibly, shot it down in one of either this box or the replay box, we'll certainly be happy to watch the movie on Netflix, Hulu, or what was that, Disney Channel or YouTube, stuff like that. And this movie actually was on YouTube. That's where I got this movie off, because they were playing this movie on YouTube in honor of his death. So because this movie came out in 2019, so they basically played this movie. And then I was doing some further research upon this, and I am told that this may be possibly a true story, but of course the thing's been switched around. Okay. Which, a lot of times when things like this go down, they don't necessarily implicate the real deal.
Hey, that D, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, so I just want everybody to know that if you all have any movies that you all definitely want to see or want us to review, we'll definitely be happy to do that. We do have one. This is the Angels recommended on Friday. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, I was saying, yeah, that would be great. Any if you guys have a better time that we could go live, or a movie you would like for us to review would be great. Also, after we review the movie, we normally talk about things, um, other things too. So it's a nice time just to come and fellowship during this time of COVID-19. People that are home that want something just to kind of hang out, find out good movies to watch. This particular movie, I probably give it a 5. This movie was incredible.
I think
Uh,
so.
yeah, Chadwick did an amazing job acting. I love the storyline, and it was kind of you weren't really sure on how it was going to end, so it wasn't like every other movie. And but when his partner at the end, when they were going to try to kill him, but they're trying to act like you know, you know, basically the captain was saying, you're not going to get me, and it's going to be hard, and blah blah blah. And at the same time, his cronies was coming in to kill him. But
Exactly.
at the end, after he shot him up, Davis got them all down, because remember, he was the one who would shoot. He was a good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I knew his partner was going to come. I just had that feeling that
Right.
she would be the one that would pop in. But she didn't shoot. She was like thinking, but he was telling her, you know what, you're going down. You could be a good mom to your daughter. You may not get that much time, wow. But it was sad, and wow, and I bet you this was a true story. I could see them doing some stuff like that. The police officers.
Of
How
course.
many times does police pull big time drug dealers over, right? Nobody knows you're pulling them over. You pull them over, dude, get out the car. You got your partner with you, and he's over there in handcuffs, sitting on the side. You open up the back of his, seat of the car, and you find bags of money. Sometimes they let them go, and they say, "Well, you know what? Look, shut up, or we could, turn you in." And sometimes they take that money. These police officers don't make a lot of money, and when they see, and that's another reason why they get so hateful against the gang members or people doing drug trafficking, because they drive better cars, have bigger houses, and got big money. And these police officers are working their butts off. Can't catch them, and when they do catch them, they got everything put away nicely, and they're smiling with their gold teeth and their beautiful ride. And they're like, man, so when they do pull them over and they get some of that money, they be like, shoot, I'm getting ready to keep this. I'm keeping this 50 G's. This will come up. That's man. You can, and once you become big and you got a good little following as a police officer, you put your 30 years in, right before you go and retire, and you come across some money like that, you'd be like, shoot, this be perfect for my retirement.
They were like, I'm retired today. I'm retired today. Boy, I'm
It's like,
you
it's like,
see.
wow, what happened to Dr. Amir? What happened to Dr. Amir? You'd be like, well, the Lord spoke to me.
I feel like the Lord done told me.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I felt the energy that said that I need to retire in Maui. You know what I'm saying? Where it's tropical. I need to go to Africa. You know, I gotta go there and set up shop. You know what I mean? And buy me a mansion in Zimbabwe somewhere. You know, and buy a couple of lands around the country. You know,
that's right.
maybe a plane and a pilot, but it's like that though. It's crazy because again, you can't necessarily, you know, uh tell people to follow the law and you don't follow law. It's very hypocritical. Very, 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 very.
Right. Exactly. I agree. And we see that all the time.
Yes,
People,
correct.
in a lot of different businesses,
Yeah.
even in our country, wow.
Yeah, especially Trump. That you set it up because I knew you was gonna go there. Let's go there. Let's go there, ma'am. I knew it was gonna be some solid game with this second series. That's why I said I'm not gonna keep talking about it because you
We gonna
already
get a
know.
stimulus. We gonna get a stimulus, but you could best believe we will get a stimulus. Know this. That money is going to come. I don't care when or how, but it is coming. That is my number one prayer.
That
That we get
fool, that
this.
fool said that he's not giving the stimulus while he's until he wins. Moron.
so
Like,
basically,
come on.
so
That's a
basically,
threat. What I mean? Like, what are you who you talking to? That's you're ensuring yourself not to win because no what?
exactly.
Who does that? Him. Let's say that. Let's just say that. But I mean, I'm not shocked. I don't have an attitude. I just think it's and don't get me wrong, I don't really believe that Obama did anything in the house, but I do believe that he was very polished, you know.
Right,
He was
right.
very much of a polished man, and so was his wife, and she wasn't looking like, well, the witch of the Eastwicks. You know what I'm saying? Aha! Yes, but you have Michelle Obama just had a different energy about her. Now
Yeah,
I don't agree with what they didn't do in the house and yada 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 yada, but I'm talking about them, their appearance and their energy and the way that they carried themselves was definitely more righteous.
right.
Don't give a damn. Wait a minute, he
Right?
got COVID, and we already knew he was gonna get COVID, right? Supposedly, we already
Yeah,
knew it was
yeah,
gonna
that was
be.
crazy.
And then he's walking around taking off his mask. He don't give a damn. He's like, it's
Man, he said they gave him that little vaccine and gave him some steroid, and he was like, I feel great.
I'm up.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, but you can't make a decision. Okay, so it'd be one thing if you were like, well, y'all need to get back to work, but what are you getting back to? Nothing.
Exactly.
You ain't doing nothing.
Exactly. Here, I'll be right back, sister. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so it's crazy, y'all. Okay, so going back to the movie, what do I rate the movie since the angel's gone? So honestly, I rate the movie at 5. I really enjoyed the action with the movie. Sometimes movies can be great, but they can drag too long. And I'm like, oh my God, catch him, please, get him. He right over here, you know. So this was not this type of movie. So I was definitely excited. And I was just like, wow, this is not a bad thing. Excuse me. And I really was okay with the way that they photographed the movie. Like I said, I think he has excellent work ethic. I enjoyed his work ethic. The fact that he had cancer and he still made this movie. The fact that he was pushing out all these movies in 2019. And I also enjoyed his acting was phenomenal. But it wasn't just him. The guy from that one commercial, he also played in the Oz. He played in the SUV sexual crimes unit, Law and Order, right? So he's really a great actor. I like to see him acting because I really, whatever role he plays, I've seen him play gangsters, I've seen him play police officers, I've seen him play psychiatrists, I've seen him play a parent, a father. I've seen him play a lot of different roles, and I really do. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was the police. He was the police chief, um, and I really, 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 really enjoyed his energy. And I was just like, wow, this is really a good thing. Because think about the way that the movie was shot. The movie was shot. It had definitely great shoot shots. It was great to look at because of the way that they shot things, the way that they formulated, the way that it was edited. The movie was edited. The scenes were looked very real. It was very believable, and I was rooting. Because usually I don't really root for. I don't root for police officers. I know it doesn't matter really what the movie is, unless it's like a serial killer or something like that, or if
Right?
it's a serial killer, then I would be like, well, yeah, get him. But for the most part, I really don't root for. I'm kind of, and whatever. I root for the other character, the so-called bad person, because I I don't. I'm not a black and white type of person. I know that it's a yellow, it's a green, it's a gray area. It's a red area, it's a purple area. You know what I mean? Everything is just not one sided. And I know coming from my community and St. Louis has a horrible reputation as far as the police officers are concerned. So I know how a lot of them get down, and that's not saying that there aren't decent police officers on the force, because there are a couple. But if you got, it's like, you know it's what they call it, in between. It's in between, you know what I mean? It's like some of them are in between a hard work and a hard place, and some of them just learn how to stand up for themselves, and wrong is wrong, right is right. And so, on so many levels, I did really enjoy this film. I liked him as an actor. Again, I said at the beginning of the film, I'm sorry, not the beginning of the film, but at the beginning of this, that his karma was not to shoot first anymore. You know what I mean? So now in the future, his character will go into the future not always shooting first, but always questioning things, because if you're a detective, that is your job. Your job is to question things. It's not about you always shooting. I used to work at a casino, and I used to work with a lot of these ex-police officers, and a lot of them either retired. Some of them were retired. Some of them, I'm sure, had a lot of bodies on their belt. You could tell by the language that they used and how they looked at people, and they would always, because I worked in the security department. So they would always run to the fight. They would always run to disputes, and they would always run and try to, I mean, it was just crazy. And they would always look for action. They would always walk around the casino looking for action. Not I, said the cat. I would. I'm like, man, your job as a security officer, or at least at the casino, was customer service first,
Right.
port, report, what you see and bring attention to it, not to, do a Rodney King on somebody, or a George Floyd, or any of these things. These things were crazy because it's not like we had guns, and even if we did, that would have really been dangerous. So if those security guard officers had guns, they would have really, 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 really been in trouble at that casino. I'm telling you, that
Exactly.
would have lost their lives because a lot of them carried themselves in a very negative energy. And I'm almost sure that a lot of them, that, like I said, they had a lot of bodies on their belt. I'm sure they killed a lot of black folks in the precinct that they were in. I'm almost sure, but you can bet your bottom dollar that it went down with them. So I really did, needless to say, I really did enjoy this film. And I didn't necessarily root for his character, but I was happy about his character in the sense of, I'm glad he saw beyond the, shoot first questions asked at the end. And he also found out he discovered a conspiracy that these police officers were taking drugs and the money and getting paid off, and they had a whole business with this particular incident. And you could tell it was kind of froggy anyway, because why would all these police officers show up at this particular spot at this exact moment when this so-called robbery was going down? um,
Exactly.
then also, what I also appreciated is that they also broke down, like, both of the characters, both of the so-called robbers, their history. I like that too. It wasn't just a situation. It was like, okay, they were robbers, they stole this, they stole that. They didn't take a whole lot of time, but it was just enough time where we get it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
we could empathize and sympathize with them because of the direction of how they explain it. Because some movies don't really explain things, and you kind of have to figure it out on your own. But they gave you just enough about them, and they gave you the sense of who all these characters are. Every character, pretty much, they gave you a sense of who they were. The detective, the head detective, they gave you a sense of who he was. His partner, they gave you a sense of who she was. Chadwick Boseman, character, they gave you a sense of who he was. They also gave you a sense of who both of the robbers, so-called robbers, were. You know what I mean? And you
Right.
understood that, oh boy, was a genius. He was really smart, and how he lost his brother, and how his friend was actually his friend's brother, and he lost him in the war. You know what I mean? And so he took on his little brother as a brother to him. So I appreciated the way that they connected all the dots with that. And I think that it made sense. It wasn't something like, it's still, if you didn't know, if you was like a fly on the wall and you didn't really have any common sense, you didn't know, you still would be like, okay, that was a great follow. The way that, basically found out that all these cops were dirty.
Right. Right. Wow.
You know what I mean? It wasn't just like smack. It wasn't just like, how did they do that? That didn't make no sense. You know what I mean? It made all the sense in the world because of the fact that all those police officers were at the robbery at the same time. Like, what are y'all doing? What? So, and then the fact that they all showed up, and that was kind of they was being ambushed, and it was something kind of weird and strange about the fact that they were sent to rob that particular area.
Right.
And then also, I thought was great was the fact that and then they, like, when they went to the club, they wound up shooting that person. They didn't even give that person a chance to talk. They was like, bow. And he
Right.
showed up, and that lets you know. And this is something that lets you know that how the police have way too much power. This movie definitely reiterates that because that's not because I remember it was times when I was an activist and I would show up and the police would, always try to say this was a good kill. What do you mean using those exact
Yeah.
words like this was a good kill? What do you mean this was a good kill? Like this young man or this young woman lost their lives. Now, how would it be a good kill if someone shot your child or your mother or your individual? No, you were raised up in arms about this, and it just showed. This movie definitely reiterated what is going on today and what has been going on for centuries. From slavery when they call them the slave catchers. You know what I mean? When because that's actually kind of when the era of the police started, the slave catchers, and on down to the sheriffs, and on down to the Irish, the Irish police, what they call them, what did they call them? Shoot, what I can't remember what they called the Irish police. I'm gonna Google that up because that's gonna get on my nerves. Which is why they play the bagpipes at the and then at the funerals.
Right. Oh, right, right. That's right.
History. Let's see. Let me think about that. Okay, Keystone, what was that? Keystone Coppers or something like that. That's not on here, but they were Keystone Coppers, if I recall. That's what they were called, Keystone Coppers. And so and a lot of it's a lot of history with that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. So I was listening to you when I had left for a second, but I missed. What did you rate the movie?
A 5.
Okay, okay. And what did you like? What and why did you rate it a five? What did you like about it that made you rate it a five?
Because of the way that they explain everybody's story without taking forever, and everybody got just enough time where you could feel each character.
Right.
Just saying, I want to say feel like, oh, I liked him or I didn't like him, but you understood why this particular entity was this way and that way. So the two robbers, you understood their connection. You understood why they got into robbing people. You understood why they had this connection with each other. You understood that the black, I can't remember his name, but the black robber, so-called robber, the way he was intelligent and the way he thought and processed everything. But at the same time, he was very apprehensive. So he had a lot of common sense, but at the same time, he didn't use it because he went along with the flow. Because he was just like, why is all these people showing up? Why is all these people out here? And he was just kind of telling no boy. No boy was definitely a trigger happy himself. And not only was he a trigger happy, but he was kind of crazy a little bit because he had been in the war, because he had been in the armed forces. So his mind wasn't as stable as it probably would have been if he hadn't gone through a lot of things he went through. Then he was beat as a child and a lot of his childhood, and we understood that, right? We could empathize with him to a degree. And then if you look at the chief detective, he he wanted to have a better living. He was tired of the criminals getting away. I didn't empathize with him at all, but
Me
I
either.
understood. I understood his character. That's what I'm saying. I understood his character. I understood Chadwick Boseman's character because of the fact that he lost his father. You know what I mean? Because he had all of these different police officers that were elders, and that definitely took him up under his wing. And then you saw his mother at the funeral and how strong and poised she was, and then to the point where he had to end up taking care of his mother because she started getting dementia or started having a memory relapse and she was sick. So you could definitely empathize with him, like he has taken care of his sick mother and he sacrificed his life, but at the same time, he's shooting people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shooting first and not asking questions last, and asking questions last after the person is gone. So you know what I mean. So you understood his story. They spent enough time on each individual character's story to understand where they're coming from. Even the woman who his partner, and how she had a child and the things that she had to battle and go through with having this particular child,
Right, right.
and how they had to, where she kind of felt like she had to, do this in her mind, but she felt like she had to do this so she can get paid, so she can have extra money to do this and that with this child. And so I thought, hey, how you doing? Don't need no man.
Hey, don't need no
I,
man.
but yeah, so when you see that and you could get the story off of each character without showing, like, taking 1,000 minutes to understand why they are the way they are, whether you agree or not. The point is that I like that. I like the fact that you don't take up a whole movie, and it has so many different parts. And yes, Chadwick Boseman was the person that it was solely about, but if you really look at it, you understand it wasn't just about him. It was about the criminals. It was about his partners. It was about even the elder police officer who was friends with his father. That was close with his father. Even he had a story. Even looking at that, and he was like a father figure to him, and he took him up under his wing. So he had love for this man. And so you understood his mother's energy, because guess what? She lost her husband at a young age, and she had to raise her son on her own. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you are able to have an explanation for everything, and it didn't take that long because the movie wasn't that long, and it didn't drag. For God's sake, every action, every point of the movie, you had action, had action, had action, had action, and it all made sense. You know what I mean? It all makes sense. It wasn't a movie that, and don't get me wrong, I've seen movies that don't make no damn sense, but it was still good. It was still a good movie. It's like, why did that? You know what I mean? But everything made sense. Everything played out. And it was really no more questions. The whole entire movie left you without leaving the theater or leaving your seat at your home.
right, right.
It left without you having to question this or question that. You know how we watch what we've, you and I reviewed a lot of movies where we had a lot of questions at the end. Well, what happened after this? Well, what
Yeah,
happened after that? This movie pretty much answered it all, and we
yeah,
pretty much had a understanding about why and where, what, when, why, and how. We had all of those questions answered, okay? And so we know moving forward for a fact, based upon what we saw, that he's going to ask questions. He's not just going to be shooting just to be shooting. You know what I mean? He's going to now ask questions.
that's right.
All these police officers are pretty much going to go down that names were in the books unless they make deals or whatever. So now we're going to have a greater, so now we have a greater understanding about what this movie was about. We understand about the bridges and that kind of thing, and that's pretty much, hold on one second.
Oh, yeah, but I definitely give the movie a 5 myself. And welcome to the chat. Don't need no man, and people who are listening in the bushes. I thank you. I know this is a time where it's kind of quiet during the day. I'm glad we have some people in here listening. People will also listen back. But the movie was really good. Just to wrap it up a little bit, the movie was about a detective who was a young child. That father was also a detective that had gotten killed, and it came to a point where after his father died, it stuck with him, and he ended up, as he started to work in the field as an officer, he started shooting people and kind of getting investigated, wondering why is he shooting so quick, and questions after. He was still dealing with some stuff from his father getting killed, but they used him as a pawn because
Definitely.
the police were all in on getting this money by selling large sums of drugs and also embezzling money in different accounts. So through this movie, um, I give it a 5. I think what I really loved about Jatwick was he had the best facial expressions.
Right.
His acting, it was almost like no,
Method
Yeah, like nobody else was in the room. And when I watch this movie, I even think like, wow, why didn't my brother get other parts, to other movies that were even bigger? This guy was a hidden gem. He was an amazing actor. I mean, without him, this would not have been no movie. I'm gonna tell you right now. Without the way he acted, the way he looked, the way he acted, the way he played the part, the way he did the lines, the way he had expression for his partner, the way he, even dealt with the people that he was chasing after. He was amazing. Just a great talent. Just so underrated. I don't care what anybody says. This guy.
But it's not even to me, it's not even a scenario where people would say, "Oh, y'all just saying that because he died, because he passed and everything." But no, he's always been a great, phenomenal actor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Even in Panther. Oh my God.
he
I
was
couldn't keep my eyes off him because he was just so. He has that presence.
he
Like
does.
there's some people that could walk in a room and you just look at them. You
Even
just
when he played James Brown, I thought he was James Brown.
I feel good. Do, 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 do.
I had, I definitely looked at it. I wanted to, look at it without any judgments and how maybe he didn't, his facial, even he had facial expressions that kind of resembled James Brown in that movie. He doesn't look like James Brown at all now.
Right.
However, he knew how to act where he could make certain facial expressions and he could talk like, like you know what I mean? Could do that, and James Brown, by the way, was a Taurus. So I just want you all to know that just in case if you didn't.
Oh, hey. Well that sums it all up.
Right.
You got a Taurus, that's all you need.
Right. So
But yeah, I definitely you always pick good movies, Dr. Murray. I really appreciate the movies you choose, and I enjoyed it. I really did.
his birthday, actually, I forgot to say this before you go there. James Brown was born the same day that I was born on May the 3rd. Yes, go ahead.
Wow, isn't that wow,
Yeah.
man?
Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Very talented. But yeah, so check out the movie. The movie's amazing. Like I said, it was just basically about a police officer that was taking down not just the criminals, because he was also taking down the criminals that were also police officers.
Is
So
that
yeah, so you go through this whole scenario, and then you don't. It doesn't seem like it at first, but then after a while, it's like, wait a minute, something here is not clicking because
right?
every time you turn around, they're so quick to kill somebody.
In the first 5 minutes of the movie, I thought it was strange because I'm looking like, why is all these police officers here in this area at one time? I was like, some little funny stuff going down in Chinatown now. What the heck? So,
Yeah. Yeah, so check out the movie. Dr. Amira, I was happy she picked this movie because it was actually on YouTube. But when I went back to go and look at it again, they pulled the movie down. So I don't know if there's another version of it somewhere, but it's just frustrating. Don't Need No Man Knows, and also Dr. Amira and a few I was, putting up movies and we were enjoying our movie nights. And the YouTube just really funny about people playing movies, and it's a whole nother.
my nerves, to be honest, because it's like I know we don't own the dang on movie. We're not trying to take away
Right.
this movie. Hey, we just want to watch the movie. How about we just appreciate it? The fact that we're playing it on YouTube, which is going to draw more people to go to where the movie is. People gonna be like, oh, I want to watch it more than just on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, it's just like just don't let us make money off it. Just say we're not gonna let you make. Okay, no problem. Can we watch the movie?
Demonetize it, right?
And but they're just they want to get the $2.99 from Netflix, and I get it. Whatever. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's not my movie, so but I just say, if you can find a movie on YouTube. I'm going to try to find movies on YouTube where we can watch them, and you can go and watch it without having to pay a Netflix or Hulu, because not everybody has Netflix and or Hulu because they don't watch enough movies, right? So
Right.
they're gonna not they don't want to pay. And like I have Netflix and Hulu because my roommate, she I go in half with her on Hulu, Netflix, I just, they just let me have the code. So, it only cost me a few dollars. But to be honest with you, if they weren't paying for it, I probably wouldn't have either one. I would just go ahead and
No,
just,
I wouldn't have neither one. If my children, let me just tell you for the record, and you don't have to, we've had conversations. I'm not gonna play games and act like I am cheap. Okay, first of all, I am frugal, and I feel like certain things ain't worth my dollar. Now, I do have family members who have it, and I just log into theirs because that's what makes sense. Because again, I've known about Netflix, Hulu for quite some time, but I'm just now like, during the COVID, I was like, well, might as well, get into Netflix. And my daughter was like, hey, you want to, look at our Netflix? I'm like, sure. So by all means. Now, if it wasn't for her and my sons, no ma'am, no ma'am, I would not, sir, they may be listening. I would not be paying for Netflix because I don't even have cable. I have the internet. Okay. So that lets you know I have the fire sticks. I go click, 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 click. But again, in a lot of cases, certain things may not play on Netflix. You know what I mean? So what I'll do is, the fire stick. Sometimes, you don't get that stream. So boom, I can go to Netflix. Boom, I can go to Hulu. Boom, I can go to Disney Channel or whatever. And
oh,
I like
oh,
that.
yeah, I just found the full movie. Here you guys go. Try to watch it tonight before they pull it down. It's in HD too. Uh,
Put the link in there, shoot.
yeah, I just put the
I'm not
link.
monetized, and I probably would never be monetized. And I'm okay with that. So you can go ahead and put it in the link.
But I told you the way you make money on YouTube is people will buy your product. They get to see what you're doing. I've sold T-shirts on here, books. I've sold, and then when I have my monetize turned on, I make money that way too. But now that I'm doing my prayer streams on Monday, I don't have my monetize on because it's not a time to make money. It's a time to be into prayer and those types of things. But um, most of the money I've made was, well, I won't say most of my, just recently I hit that big one. But before that, I would get more money off of people that would just support my channel. They would send me PayPal or Cash Apps, and they would, say, Angel, I got your book, or I want to buy a T-shirt. But I didn't ask. I didn't ask nobody, hey, support my channel and get my Cash App. Y'all know I don't even get down like that. But people, they just do it because they want to support you and they like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I've had people that would just email me and say, hey, how do I get a T-shirt? Or I tried to order your shirt, and I appreciate it. And same with you, Dr. Mary. People order from you. Um, you know, it's good to show your new products and things like that. And you know, I look at YouTube as a way to share information, education, like what we're talking about movies. People, now I know for a fact there's going to be somebody watching this movie for free. 21 Bridges. There's people paying for these movies because they got great actors in them. And if you come across some really good, movies and links, share them. Let's share them. It's a part of, resource. YouTube is a resource. Also, friendship. I met some of the coolest people on here. I love my family on here. Y'all be cracking me up. Sometimes I'll be reading the comments, or, you say, or even your names. I just have to laugh sometimes. But like even meeting you, Dr. Mary, I've been on you for some time now, and it's nice having someone that you can grow with, share some things with, get advice from, learn from, and just you being on here and sharing ways of cleansing and good types of oils and, whatever. There's always a purpose doing, using, because, YouTube is like a tool.
Exactly.
And even if you're not a content creator, look at how much, I've like when my car was messed up, I could go on YouTube and find out how to fix certain things so I don't have to pay nobody. I've learned a lot being able to look on
Telling
YouTube.
you. I'm telling you. I'm like, and to be honest with you, YouTube has made me get more into arts and crafts. I was
Yeah.
never that kind of person. I'm like, oh my God, why do I like watching DIYs? I like getting into arts and crafts. I like learning
Yeah.
things. I like watching it in general and seeing how other people produce and manufacture things, because how important it is for us to learn more than one way to do something, and not always having to go and buy this and pay this person to do this and pay this person to do that and things like that. So I admire that. I think, and that's what I do like about YouTube. That's what I do like about these videos, because we are having certain chances that we probably wouldn't have if we didn't have the internet and social media available to us. And I don't think having social media is always a bad thing. And some things I don't necessarily want to see, but hey, I won't watch it. And I would instruct, once I get my children or further children and my grandchildren also, I would be like, no, you're not gonna be watching this crap on here. You better shut it down.
Right.
So I definitely learned a lot. My husband is he's definitely really good with his hands. I don't mean, pause if you think I'm trying to talk about a different way, but I'm talking about, well, tool wise, he definitely fixed things, but YouTube has definitely opened his eyes. So now he damn near can build a house, from just simply watching YouTube and just understanding knowledge and reading and things like that. And so how important that is. And sometimes he just be like, well, I don't have time to do it, but I do know how to do it. And I'm telling you, he'll fix certain things, or he'll know how to fix certain things, and then he may not have time to do it, but the person may be in the process of fixing it. Then he'll come home and be like, hey, yeah, you got to do this, that. And then he'll probably start helping and working on with it, which is where it makes the person, him, not have to pay that person a whole lot of money. Or he will sit out there with the person and see how they do it, and then they'll be like, okay, so this is how you gotta do this time, because he's one of those, I don't know, he's a Leo, so they're so weird. They're so they're really, they're anti-sociable, but yet they're not. It's really weird. But yet they're very welcoming when they do meet people. If it's another Leo, they might kind of sidebar. I'm like, I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha. But other than that, they're kind of, they make people feel very comfortable. And so people like him, they would definitely want to show them how they, are doing this particular thing or doing that. So yeah, YouTube, social media is definitely a great place for us to definitely learn how to do things on so many levels. And it definitely brings about this, thing where we can also meet new people, because I'm not really a person who will just walk up to a person and say, hey, my name is Dr. Amira. What is your name? I'm not really like that. I mean, I have done it in certain situations because I think some, spirit or the energies told me to, hey, speak to this person. This might be a good person. And so, or I might have just been one of those days where I was very talkative and I didn't feel like talking to myself that day or something. And I felt like, well, speak to them. But social media definitely opens that up where you can be a little bit more sociable than you probably wouldn't be sociable. You know what I'm saying? For people who aren't as sociable. So I do like that about social media, YouTube. And I have also met some great people, and then I met some not so great people. Let me keep it real. I met some nuts.
Girl, wow. You know, that's another thing. There's so many cons on YouTube. And oh man, I'm so glad that I went to the link so I can watch the whole movie. Yes, please do.
Watch
See,
it.
now,
Watch
now,
it
yes,
take off.
now that was worth it. This whole, review was worth it. Knowing somebody got to go watch that movie for free because that they are charging for that movie. They want to get paid.
Yeah,
But
they
I'm
send
so
the
happy.
money
My
in the
sister
chat.
told me, Angel, watch this movie. We're gonna review this. Man, I got my popcorn out, laying in my bed with my Kool-Aid. I was so happy. And then I went back to that. I said, "What movie taken down for what?"
You just gonna watch it again and get a refresher.
Yeah, I want to get a refresher. Been a while. That's why I was kind of like,
Yeah, because it was week after last.
yeah.
And you all, now I know, I think it's a couple people in here from the last time that we reviewed the movie. And y'all made a movie suggestion, and again, I apologize. If anybody would like to put a movie in here, please put it, like, type it in here on the review on the replay, so we can certainly have that, or type it in now, and I will make sure I jot it down this time, because I didn't jot it down last time because I think it was too much going on. I don't recall, or I just assumed, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back and go look at it, later, and I never did. So, but we definitely want to know if you all have any movies that you would like us to review and get our perspective about what we thought was pretty cute, or we thought that sucked, or what have you.
Right. But the whole thing is, we're going to try to look for movies that, I think the next movie we're going to do Friday, I think you can see it. Matter of fact, what is the name of that movie? Do you remember, Dr. Miro? I could probably put the link. Let me see if I can remember what movie, because we watched so many movies. Y'all can
Oh,
watch it too, so we can talk about it.
it was that John Brown movie. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a series, that little
Oh,
John
yeah,
Brown
that
series.
series. Yeah, because they're going to start charging for the rest of that series. But you guys watch it. It's really good. Let me see. What was it called? Babe, do you know what that movie was called? We were watching about John Brown, the new one on man, that movie was good. What was it called? Showtime, Showtime. Oh, the good Lord Bird, the good Lord Bird. Uh, I'm gonna find that link because they're letting the first one go for free. But that was a good 50 something minutes of some man. Did you watch it yet, Dr. Amara?
Yes, I watched it, and
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about
we'll talk about it on your channel. I did watch it. I watched it. I think like 2 days ago.
it.
I
Okay,
watched it 2 days ago, or I don't. You know what? I just watched it. I can't recall what day, because I get my days and nights mixed up because my sleep is crazy. I don't sleep like normal people. Today, I pretty much took a really long nap, the longest nap that I've taken. Because, well, my body's like, hey, I'm tired, but I usually sleep like 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, 2 to 3 hours a day. And so today I slept a very long time. So shoot, I'm kind of confused at what day, because I stayed up last night. I didn't go to sleep last night. So I went to sleep probably about 11 a.m. and woke up at 3:30 p.m.
oh
I was
wow.
really hit. I was like, why did I wake up at 3? I went, I was like, oh my God, my husband come waking me up. My face was on the side of me. I didn't even remember what my face looked like. I was so exhausted.
Okay,
But
I'll give you guys a link. You guys watch this movie. Let's discuss this. I want you guys to discuss it with us. You have time. We are going to review it on Friday on my channel. But watch the movie. It's a free movie. It's called the Good Lord Bird, season one. I think season two you're gonna have to pay for, but season one, I don't even know if they're gonna even have a season two. Who knows?
mm,
But check out the movie.
discuss,
Let's
we'll
talk
discuss.
about it. Let's talk about what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Me personally, I enjoyed it because I'm a type of person I hate. Uh, I just have a deep hatred for slavery. I really do,
Right, of
and
course.
I
Yeah,
believe that everybody. I don't. Well, I don't want to get too deep, but I really believe that you'll pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And
of
I
course.
pray that people will pay for what they did. And I really believe in God, and God says He hears our prayer. My prayer is anybody that would take somebody's child and feed it to the crocodiles, or hang a man, an innocent man, or kill babies, heads off. You know what I'm saying?
And how about if you participated in any format, and if you, even if that was your father, and you're like, oh well, that was my father, I don't believe the same thing. But if you kept up that energy, then it is what it is with you as
Yeah.
well. How about that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I lost a lot of friends on YouTube because I've been on YouTube since 2011,
Hmm.
and I met a lot of people, all nationalities. I mean, young kids, white, black, people from Canada, people from Africa. I met a lot of really cool people, but I didn't know, their beliefs in a lot of things. And I don't have a problem with people's religion or what, um, you know, way they want to live, but the mindset to me is really deep. And if you can't understand the injustice of the people of color, That's a serious turnoff to me because there's enough information out here today. There's no excuse for that particular behavior. And just because you benefited from it doesn't make it okay to cover it up. And I just don't play games. And I started seeing people really differently when I started hearing what they said would say or their mindset. I just couldn't get with it because, when God says either you're with me or you're against me, it's all about spirit and it's all about a lifestyle that you conduct yourself as character. You know what I'm saying? What are your motives and things of that nature? And when you see people that don't really care because it affects their pocketbook and they're okay with, you know, brown and black people not eating. And when they do eat, it's all fatty foods and processed and giving them high blood pressure. And you're sitting up there eating the fat of the hog. You know what I'm saying? You eating the ribeye and the good food, even vegetarians it costs money to eat like that. And when you have an opportunity to let somebody have what they need to provide for their children, but yet I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of people that do not want you to have a stimulus
Right.
because they don't really need one.
Of
That
course.
$1,200 is spittle, right? It's a drop in a bucket, okay, a penny to them, but they don't want you to have it, and I don't get that. Why wouldn't you want other people to have something that can help them?
Because they're evil.
And then when I hear them talk, well, uh, 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 I just want to jump in my computer and strangle them, and I have to get off. I said, Lord, help me. Because you don't want to hate, but when it comes to that, I just, it puts me where I want to fight.
Oh
Because,
yeah. It's questionable because you gotta, think about what kind of heart that these people have. These people
mm,
have hearts. These folks don't have hearts. These folks don't care about nobody but themselves.
Dr. Amira, these are people that will turn on you.
Yeah.
They will be with you, hey, hey. And all of a sudden, the minute they cronies come, and then they look at you, yeah, well, yeah, they'll turn their back on you.
But if you remember that one movie, what was that movie called? Shoot, I can't remember the name of the movie. Rosewood.
Rosewood, yeah, yeah.
You know how they was doing all these good works and how they was all about them and how they basically
Shoot, I hated Roots and remember Kizzy?
right.
That little white girl. I was like, oh man, why you throw your friend? I just, and I had to. It made me, I block people from my channel. They don't even know they're blocked. I had to just get them out my channel. They would say the most stupidest stuff, and I said, oh, me,
I said,
me.
oh, hell no. I said, let me say, hell no.
They
How about
probably they probably in my channel. Hey, Angel. Hey, she don't see me. You are blocked. Because I went to one of your videos and I saw something that I wasn't cool with. No, no, you tricked me. Blocked. I thought you was cool.
trick me, you black?
You blocked. You so blocked.
You
But
said
I
black.
don't care. I don't care. But I just can't do it. I can't deal with ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love that guy on my. Did you guys hear that guy on my channel that was going off? Hmm. Hello.
What channel?
On my channel, that
What guy? I'm talking about what channel. I said what guy I meant to say.
his name was uh I'll put the link because I don't want to play it on your channel because it's a lot of cursing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll put the link in here for y'all to watch it. But I really enjoyed what he had to say. Let's see, where's that video at? Let's
You can
see.
play some curse. You can do what you can play it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me find it. I like this video. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me find that dude. Okay, go ahead and talk while I'm finding this.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Go ahead and find it. Anyway, y'all. How about you got to be careful of these folks that's out here that's saying one thing and doing another in a native light. because they could, your friend could be your overnight enemy. I'm telling you, or your friend could be an enemy. You just don't know. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep your eyes on the prize, as they say. But
Exactly.
I'm telling you, did you find it yet?
Yep, I just found it. Let me put it up there.
All right, get it, as we say around here.
Get it. Okay, let me put it on. Let me
You
share
got your
screen.
food too? Pretty cool, pretty cool.
Let me.
Don't need no man telling me what to do.
Did
Hold
y'all
on,
see that?
got it. I see
Yeah,
it.
you might
Oh,
have had it.
there we go.
You got
I,
y'all remember him? Did
I
y'all?
not. We'll go
You
ahead.
didn't. Okay, let's hear this guy. Let me put this.
Signal white supremacist support. That's exactly what this racist piece of shit did last night. He told the Proud Boys, who he knows is a white supremacist organization, Chris Wallace made it very clear. Will you denounce? Will you condemn white supremacy? The racist piece of shit couldn't. He, what do you mean call it? Proud Boys. He said, stand back and stand by.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker should have been immediately removed from the White House. If
Exactly.
our nation had character and decency, if we cared about anything more than white, that would have happened. But our nation has never, ever cared about anything outside of goddamn the color fucking white. We are a diseased nation. If we weren't, we wouldn't have this racist piece of shit in the fucking office. This goddamn fucking clown, toddler, rapist, racist, xenophobe, homophobe, lying, con, fraudulent motherfucker running our goddamn fucking nation. And it's a fucking disgrace. Does America ever get tired of its racism?
Nope.
Not the white people, not the majority of white people. Why? Because they're greedy. Because they're taught to protect it. Because we have been taught to be selfish little fucking pricks. To protect entitlement. To protect our racial privileges. That's what we've been taught to do. And that's exactly what we are doing. And that's why we have this beast, this Don Diablo the racist, I call him, in office. Because white people don't give a fuck. White people have never given a fuck. And that's why he will continue to spew racism, and possibly for another 4 years, because he has that much goddamn support. Because yes, America is that fucking vile. White people are that fucking vile that they would give this creature, and that they would allow hundreds of thousands of people to die in a pandemic to continue, because they don't care. And the white man has always thought white supremacy is helping them somehow. White supremacy has never fucking helped you. It might have helped your bank account. It's true, economically, it's helped us. It's given us advantages. But at what fucking cost? You've lost your humanity. You've lost your soul. You've lost trust with your fellow man. Nobody trusts white people. Black and brown folks don't trust us. And there's a reason for that. We don't deserve it, most of us, because of our fucking track record of racism. White people are great at 3 or 4 things: denying white supremacy, denying our racism, ignoring it, pretending they can't see it, or perpetrating it, being fucking racist. Those are the 3 things we do: either deny it, ignore it, or we perpetrate it. We also deflect it back on the black people, and we also gaslight. That's what abusers do, bullies do. Just like Trump, he tried to bully Biden last night. I thought Biden did an incredible job. I thought Chris Wallace did a good job dealing with this fucking clown, this toddler on stage. But, when I think of all those white racist Christians and I see their face when they die and they go to heaven, and their white Jesus is brown and has the hair of lamb's wool and bronze skin, like the Bible says. And I see their fucking face when Jesus says, "We don't allow a racist in heaven. I'm sorry." They actually believe white Jesus is going to protect them. They actually believe their Jesus is a racist and a white nationalist like them. They actually believe that shit. Because they didn't believe that shit, there wouldn't be so many fucking white Christians
Amen.
voting for this fucking racist piece of shit president. They are the definition of hypocrisy. It's a sad, sad, sad disgrace where we're at right now in this country. And it's getting worse, folks. And I believe that people are so goddamn racist that we could have another 4 years of this crazy motherfucker. And if we do, we will have war and rest and device that we have not seen since the Civil War. You mark my words. White America, you keep fucking yourself in the ass. Because your greatest evil is white supremacy, and it's also your greatest neglect.
He wasn't playing. He wasn't playing. But man, but you know what? It's better to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And like he said, either they, and I hate that. You know, when I talk to somebody about real talk and history and what went down, I can't stand when somebody sit up there and tell me, well, it's gotten better, and you know they reflect it. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk. Real talk. I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to break down.
you still talking about that? That happened a long time ago. You still angry about that?
Yeah, well, then quit talking about these people on welfare because every time you talk about that, we got to go back to what happened, stupids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Welfare goes with racism. Welfare goes with slavery. All that stuff this is all, you know, contributed to what happened to our poor ancestors that had to, you know, so-called pull up their bootstraps. And when they did, they burnt them all down in 1921 with the Black Wall Street. They didn't want them to have their own business. They say one thing, but they get jealous when they do it.
Exactly.
So Black people are always kind of funny about, you know, do I really want my house burned down today? You know, they don't really feel like being bothered.
Right. Do I consider, do I eat steak or
I'm gonna be fired today? Should I say that? I better call in because I'm gonna I feel.
Right, they're gonna come after me. So I probably shouldn't say that. I probably shouldn't express that. But Poindexter, on the other hand, can say whatever he wants to in the job. But you know, if I say it, I'll get fired. So I probably won't say anything. I'll just take it under the cheek. But then if I look like I'm gonna say something, yeah, I could be fired. I'm fired. Oh wow.
Exactly. Yeah, so you know, I enjoyed listening to him, whether he was gaslighting himself, because sometimes they gaslight like that.
Yeah, because he probably was beating his what when he got the phone. He probably was like, "You calling his children, you know, in lovers."
They know how to play that game, and I oh man, one thing about me, I see right through it. Thank God for God, because God will have you discern. Like, oh, these people play. So I go along, I listen to them. They're just trying to tickle your ear. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to watch people, see what their actions are, see who they run with. Run over to their Facebook, and there'll be no Black people on their Facebook. They'll be all white. I said, wow, they ain't got one Black friend? I said, wow. You know, I'm serious. I'm an investigator. When I get to know
this would be funny to me. You know, like we're gonna say, "Oh, my best friend is Black."
Oh man, and you know what they do too? I have some people on my channel that send me videos to make me feel good about what's going on. I'm like, these people sick. They really want me in their corner. And I'm like, they don't know me like they think they know me. You know what I'm saying? It's like people really want to keep you in a mindset to keep you as a friend. Because you got to remember, some of these people from different kingdoms, they been taught, marry rich, you know, have one or two for this reason. It's always a motive. It's never really always, not always, but it's never really a natural connection. Sometimes it's for, I want to have a black person in my clique. You know what I'm saying? You have to be very careful. You're not being used. I'm serious. And then when you come around, everybody in your face, like, wait a minute, this is an experiment.
Right. Then I'll be like, oh, your hair, oh, wow, your hair is so interesting. Tell me how you do it up.
I told you when I was dealing with when I was dealing with the fake white evangelicals, I had to go to their house. They was like, "Oh, why you have the door open?" And what? I'm like, I'm in your house. I'm not gonna be closing up doors. This ain't my house. They might think I'm in here stealing.
Right. I don't want no problems. How about that? Because I don't want you to say that I stole anything out your house.
Exactly. But in their minds, they're probably thinking, well, did you have the door open for my husband to come in?
Right. It's always trouble.
Yeah, so you have to get to know how they think. And I've been around them enough to say, not all, because I have some cool people, but there's some people you have to really be careful about, and you don't want to be at their house because you don't have no protection over there. They be ganging up on you in a really, they do it real cunning. They're real cunning people. And you just have to be careful. That's why I don't really get involved in the organizations and all that kinds of stuff, And when they ask me to speak or do something, I have to know who's going to be there, how many blacks is going to be in the room. I'm serious. Even when I go to church, is my folks here? You know what I'm saying? Who got my back up in here? Oh no, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. Y'all look too old, too tired, and too thirsty. No, honey, I'm not coming.
I am cool on you.
Yeah. All right. Well, sis, I'm going to get ready to get off of here because I got that Kamala Harris is going to be speaking against Pence. I want to see if I can stream that.
Yeah. I will cozy, wozy on over there with you.
Yeah, I want to hear what she got to say because I know they're going to be trying to get on her about her track record. I want to hear, and then I know Pence mad because she put up that plexiglass because he could, everybody in the White House pretty much got that COVID. And they didn't want her to put that plexiglass up. She said, "Nah, I don't want no coronavirus coming over here. You speaking out? Nah." So yeah. So I want to see how that looks.
Exactly.
That's gonna be funny. Yeah, but y'all come by my channel if you guys are around. But yeah, I rate this movie a 5. It was an amazing movie. I gave you guys the link. Go check it out. There's a couple of and check out The Good Lord Bird season 1. We'll talk about it. That'd be amazing.
Y'all can't wait. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to our little bitty show that we love. We don't care. It's gonna be a big show because we are big energy. Anyway,
yeah.
So coming in, that's right. Come in, come on, come all. Tell your cousin, tell your mama, tell your grandmother, tell your baby mama, tell your daddy, tell your monkey, tell your dog, could tell everybody that that we're doing some really happy things over here. Why the thing when I talk about the monkey, but that's another story. Definitely like talking, and we do more than just movie reviews, but we talk about other issues that's going on in our community. We also talk a little bit about what we see, current events and things like that. So we definitely like to share that with you guys, and hopefully you will come on more and support. And if not, that's okay too. But thank you so much. You all have a blessed day. And Machette and Sister Angel, what you got to say?
I just got to say, I've been enjoying these reviews. We've been having a lot of fun. And I've noticed that the views have gone up. So thank you guys for coming back and watching. Oh, I'm so happy. Hey. My husband just showed me his vote ballot came in because my vote, I'm going to be voting early, honey. Over here, we don't have no problem with the postal service. So me and my husband going to sit down at the table tomorrow. We're going to be voting. Vote him out. Vote him out. Hey. All right. I'm so happy. Baby. All right. But anyway, family, I've been really enjoying this. Friday will be on my channel, same time. And we'll talk a little bit about that movie, and also we'll talk about other things, and we'll probably talk a lot about Dr. Amir's channel, and we'll just have some fun, okay, family?
All
So
right, we
thank you, and
appreciate
thank
you.
you, Dr. Amir.
All right, no, thank you. All right, y'all. Thanks for blessing me with y'all presence, though. Everybody that came and that will look at the replay. No, Machette. Peace out.
Peace, peace. All